Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. I apologize, I know it's been a couple of weeks since we posted a video, but we wanted to just go ahead and give you another update video here on the progress here in the drawing room for the renovation of our historic home here in Banffshire. As you can see, we have been busy painting away. Things have been a little bit challenging. As you can see, Kiara is scanning around the room there to let you see. The colour that you're looking at is the Farrow&Ball Vert Du Terre, and we've been quite lucky with it. It's gone on the walls really well, and we're happy with how it came out. It did take quite a few layers of paint to get the finish to how it is, and as you can see, we're not anywhere near done yet. We're still to paint a lot of the trim, a lot of the cases and stuff, but we're getting there. Hopefully we'll be finished all of the painting in this room by this weekend, and that's kind of the goal that we'll set ourselves. The ceiling is pointing, that's the colour that we painted. It was really challenging. Obviously it was new plaster, and it was a little bit challenging. It took about 4 coats of paint to get the finish pretty even. We haven't done the mantelpiece yet. I know that I showed you guys the peel away product that we're going to use. I decided to try to crack on with the painting before we did this. I know it will probably mess up around the edge, but nothing that we won't be able to repair. I have to say I'm a little bit nervous about the fireplace because we have no idea of knowing how many layers of paint is currently on the fireplace. Also the detail, I don't obviously want to damage any of it, and I have been tempted to just actually leave the fireplace and go ahead and paint. But if I do that, I'm just adding another layer of paint to what I feel like is already heavy laden with paint. So we are going to go ahead and use the product, and we'll video us applying that, and then of course taking it off so you can see that in case you're thinking about doing something similar with your own house. We went ahead and decided to kind of paint the casings around. I'll show you over here, it's probably better over this side. But around the shelving units to see how it would look if we left it natural. My thought, and I discussed this with my wife, and she thinks that would be a nice idea, is if we went ahead, painted the shelves, painted the sides the same colour here, the Vert Du Terre colour right here, and then went and used a damask wallpaper on the back or a fabric on the back part. So that when we're going to fill these with vintage books, but we thought that would be something that would be nice. We're not sure. Maybe drop us a comment, let us know what you think of that idea of actually doing that, but just on the back, not on the sides. And then we're thinking about changing out these drawer handles to something a lot more period style. You're probably looking right now at these wall lights that are sitting here. These are the wall lights that we have picked up. Obviously, we're not keeping the ones that are current. These ones are, I believe, Louis the 14th style, and they're solid brass that we got a ton for what they are. And we have one on either side. We have them to wear. Oh, my coffee over here. But we have it to where we have one going one direction and the other one will go the other. This one doesn't have bulbs, but we did get these from a very large home up in the Inverness area, a beautiful great big house up there. They were changing all their stuff out, kind of refurbing, and so we purchased them. You're probably thinking, why didn't I get brand new? Well, the reason I didn't get brand new is because we are trying to make the house look as original as possible with that whole period look. And I know you can buy period things, but we felt like it would just be nice if what we had in the way of fixtures and fittings wasn't actually brand new, but was antique. On the floor here, and I'll pick it up and let you see here. I can zoom in. It weighs an absolute ton because it is solid brass. But this is going to be this centerpiece here, and you can see how pretty it looks with the Vert Du Terre. But this is our new chandelier for the drawing room here. Again, I know it's not modern looking, but we want to stay in line with what we're doing. You can see that the top, everything is all nicely. There's a lot of really nice detail on this. We will give it a little polish up and shine. Can't hold it for too long here because it weighs a ton. One of the problems that we face is when we had the ceilings replastered, I had to plaster the roof to see what the joist situation was like. So one of the things that we're going to have to do is, the room that is directly above this is the master bedroom. So one thing we'll have to do is we're going to have to peel back our carpet. We just had that ceiling up there plastered too, but we'll show you that at a later date. But we're going to have to peel back the carpet and then open up the floorboards in order to try to find where the electrics are, and then put in some kind of joist, because there's no way the ceiling will take the weight of that chandelier. So we're going to have to do something in which to hang the chandelier from. I've got the electrician coming. He's on holiday right now. I think he's in Tenerife. And I've got a call, so hopefully he'll be coming out this coming week to take a look at that. We're also going to be changing out these right here, all of the sockets. These turn on the wall lights here, and we're going to be changing these out to the antique brass to match the chandelier and the wall lights. We'll change these out, change all the sockets. You can see obviously how it looks with the casings painted in the same colour. They're still wet. I was painting these earlier, I stopped so I could make this video while I still had some daylight. And obviously you know that I'm still to paint the cornice and around the top of a crown mould if you're in the good old US of A. So we'll be painting that. So as I said, the progress is moving along. I'd like to be a little bit further along, but we're trying to get it done as quickly as possible. The doors stuff we have sanded down, and you might be able to see in the walls and stuff that we have some defects in the walls. And I worked on everything quite a bit as we were painting. There's a couple of layers of paint on this, on the walls. But the reason why you might see some defects is because the house is 200 years old, and I felt like trying to eradicate every flaw, every little bump and all of that just was a little silly when the house is this old. I feel like if we wanted perfectly smooth walls with no character dents or flaws, shall we say, then we would have been better just buying a brand new build or something like that. And so we tidied everything up. We put quite a bit of work into prepping these defects and trying to make the best of it. But I decided that it would look fine if we left them and we just did what we've done to try to make that look better. We are going to go ahead though and change some things out. We're going to go ahead and replace the hardware on the doors because these are obviously they're not to the building's age. They've been replaced at some point, and they're kind of ruined. So we'll go ahead and we'll get rid of them. Same with like some of the light switches. We're going to go and get the toggle ones, and hopefully that'll look good. We don't know what to do here, and maybe you can help us out and give us a suggestion. But if Kiara spans and looks a little bit over here at this window, you will see that the bottom half, because we are at street level here, the bottom half has this stuff on it that gives you a little bit of privacy. We originally had thought when we first got the property that we would maybe just be redoing all the casings, painting all the casings, and then maybe just doing an Austrian blind or something on the inside of the window. And I like the idea of having an Austrian blind because that would really be, it would be in relation to the time period of the property. But I don't care for this at all. And we actually have window boxes, but the flowers are coming to the end because we are halfway through October, and they need to be replenished for the last bit of the autumn and of course going into the winter. But what do you think if we took them off? We have curtains that are going up. We were actually, we were given them. They come from a beautiful castle here in Scotland in the Highlands. And so we're actually using them. They were from the castle drawing room, and they've been changed. And so we're going to use them because they are absolutely stunning, and I think that they'll really add to the room. But what do you think? Should we get rid of that? Should we take that off, or should we just go ahead and leave it? I feel like the window will take, you know, a blind of some sort. That we can use for privacy at night or when we're entertaining here. This room doesn't get an awful lot of use so far. It probably will get a little bit more once it's all decked out, but as of right now it's not getting as much use as it will. So let me know what you guys think, an idea of that. So where we're at, so basically we have to finish all of the painting, all of the trim work, the casings. Like I said, all of this is going to be green. We need to get all of that finished, and then, you know, do some cleanup, and then work on the fireplace, and then obviously we can start bringing things back in and redoing it before we go ahead and move on to the hallway. I will say a little something about the hallway. Originally, I was going to paint the top half of the hallway and the bottom half, but I've decided to actually go ahead and we'll video that, but I want to kind of do it separate rather than putting it together with this room. I know that you guys want to see a walk through the house, and we will go ahead and do that for you, but we've decided, I think, to wallpaper the top half just because there's a lot of flaws, and it would probably mean replastering the entire hallway, which at this point, I don't really want to take that on because we have some other projects in the house that are kind of more of a priority. But that's kind of where we're at with the hallway. I know that I posted some pictures and I've done a few shorts of the hallway. We are still working on that. And then also, some of you may be wondering about the fireplace. Is the fireplace usable? So I found out from the local chimney sweep guy here that he had been at this property before, and he had found that the family who owned the house before were using the fireplace, but he had advised them not to because there is a blockage somewhere about 7 meters up. There's a blockage. This house is over 4 stories, so it's quite tall, but that there was some kind of blockage. So we have never actually used it because, as far as my understanding goes, it nullifies my insurance on my property, knowing that this has not been certified safe. We do intend to have the fireplace in use, but I have to have a roofer on my building, and he's already spoken to somebody, a local guy, and he's going to drop weights down and see if he can knock out what that blockage is. We've heard birds tweeting, but I think it might be more than just a little nest. I think they've been building stuff for quite a while. That's probably to do with birds. But then we're hoping that we can get that opened up and so that we can have a nice fireplace going throughout the winter. Same in the dining room, we also have a fireplace in there. Once the drawing room is relatively back together, then we'll go ahead and we'll take you through the dining room. We've already worked on that. We had it re-wallpaper, and we had the ceiling fixed and so forth, and we'll let you get a little glimpse into that as we start getting the house ready for the holidays. So I just wanted to come on here and give you a little bit of an update. I'm hoping to be able to try to put a little bit of the work video together and see what we can do. But thanks for sticking with us. If you like what we're doing here, go ahead, hit the subscribe button, leave a like on the video, and help us out. And thanks very much for stopping by, folks. Take care and have a great rest of your day.